Hi everyone, I'm Paulette Morrissey from Tulip Square, and this week I'm going to show you how to make this cute little placemat. It's a quick and easy one, it looks nice and it's easy to do, and it's a good way to use up a lot of scraps, and it's also a good way to use to showcase some cute fabric you've got to use as a fussy cut. Now I didn't have any cute fabric, so I just used some of our free applique patterns, and I added it to cotton fabric that you can run through your printer and print anything on your fabric you want to. So I just did that. And this is just part of our alphabet that we have in the free applique patterns. And I will put a link in the description below if you're interested in buying any of that fabric that runs through your printer. I think it's about $35 for 30 sheets, so it's not very expensive. You can get a couple designs out of one sheet. And then you just run it through your printer, and then you peel off the backing, and then you've got a piece of cotton fabric. Kind of cool. But anyway, we're going to head over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to show you how to make this cute placemat. Let's go. Okay, so for this pattern, which is really pretty simple, and it looks pretty cute when it's done, you're going to need one large fussy cut piece, a little over 4 by 10, and I'm going to use this little piece here. And this was one I printed. When you can buy printable fabric and run it through your inkjet printer. These are part of the alphabet from our free applique a day series, where we did 365 free applique designs, and some of them were alphabets. So that's going to be my design for the center. Then you're going to need 5 other colors. You're going to need some border strips in one color. You're going to need light and dark of one color and light and dark of a second color. So I'm going to do light and dark blue, light and dark purple. So what you're going to do is pair them up, a light and a dark of each one, and you're going to draw a line on the lighter half because it's easier to see it. A nice accurate line from corner to corner like this, and then you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam away from each side of that drawn line. So you'll have 2 seams on here. And I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of the light and dark blue pieces, and then all with the light and dark purple pieces, and then I'll be back to show you what we do next. All right, once you've got them all sewn, and you can see I've got a seam on each side of that line, you're going to cut on that line. You can do this with scissors, or you can do it with your rotary cutter, doesn't matter. What you're doing is making 2 triangles with a seam allowance. So you've got this, and then you're going to go and press them all towards the darker side. So I'm going to go ahead and press them all towards the dark side, and you'll have 8 little pieces like this and 8 of the purple like that. I'll show you a purple too, why not? Purple will look like this. And purple will look like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them all. And okay, so now I've got them all pressed, and make sure when you press them that you don't pull on them, because they're diagonal. They would be easy to distort and make them kind of curved. So be careful you don't pull on when you're pressing them. So what you're going to do now is sew them into pairs. You're going to sew them together in pairs of a purple and a blue and a purple and a blue. You're going to make 8 pairs like that. And you have to decide, they all have to be the same, but you have to decide if you want them all like this, so that would be how they'd look in a row, or do you want them all like this, if that's how you prefer it, or you could even put them all with the light purples, the light colors up, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and sew them all together in pairs. So I think I like them best this way. So that's why I'm going to sew mine together. So I'm going to go ahead and sew 8 pairs like this with the light triangles together and the dark ones on the outside edge. And always I'm sewing mine with the purple on the left and the blue on the right. So I should have 8 pairs like this. All right, now I've got 8 pieces like this with pairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 strips like this with 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3 pieces. Let me back up a little bit. 2 strips like this, and then I will have 2 pieces left over. Now obviously what I'm working on is just 1 placemat. So if you were doing this for the set of 4, instead of making 2 strips of 3, you'd be making 8 strips of 3. But for just 1 placemat, I'm only making 2 strips of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and just sew these together here, and I'm going to make just 2 strips like this. Okay, so now I have 2 strips of 6 little half square triangles and 2 pieces that are just like this. So I'm going to set these pieces aside for the moment, and I'm going to bring down my pieces like this, and I'm going to sew a strip to the top and the bottom of my accent piece. Make sure you use nice 1/4 inch seams. So now I've got the long pieces pressed on, stitched on here. I'm going to go and press this out, pressing towards these border strips. And now I'm going to sew these 2 ends in place, and then I will also press those towards the borders. Now I have my nicely framed little accent piece right here, and I'm going to take these 2 shorter pieces that I have left, and I'm going to sew one here and one here. And I'm going to do it with both of the lighter colors of triangles towards the center, so that when I sew my border strips on out here, I will do the same thing. The lighter colors will go towards the center. And if I preferred it this way, I could do that too. I don't think I like that. Maybe I do. Let's see. Just so long as they're the same, right? No, I don't like that at all. Okay. So now I'm going to sew these 2 like so. And now we just sew the 2 pieces at the tops and bottoms. Now here's where you can decide, do you want them to go this way? So you have to play around with this as much as you like to play around with it. Just make sure that they're the same. You don't do one that way and one that way, because that would look kind of weird. So they either go this way with the dark ones going towards the picture, and then you've got these triangles on the end, or you put them this way and you don't have the triangles on the ends. So I'm going to go ahead and sew those 2 strips in place. And I'm always pressing towards these border strips just to reduce the bulk. And make sure when you sew these on that you line up the seam here and the seam here. And there you have it. Your little placemat is finished. Couldn't be easier, could it? That's about as simple a little placemat as you want to make. All ready for quilting. All right, that was pretty quick, wasn't it? It's a quick, easy pattern. It's kind of cute. Uses half square triangles, a lot of remnants of fabrics. And I used light and dark blue and light and dark purple, but you could also just use all kinds of random scraps if you want, or you could make all of the squares the same, all of the pieces the same. You could just use light and dark blue for all of them, or light and dark purple, or any color. So it's a good one to get creative with, and of course have fun with the piece in the center. So I hope you enjoyed this pattern or video, or both. There will be a link for the pattern up in one of these corners. And if you like this video, please hit your like button and hit the subscribe button, and hit the little notify bell if you'd like to be notified when we put up a new video, which is the 1st and 3rd Saturday of every month. And if you're interested in looking at some of the free applique patterns, you'll find them all on our website at tulipsquare.com. So I hope you have a good week. Happy sewing, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.